control the center of the ring. If Crawford is allowed to control the center, he'll win.
They're too far apart. Canelo is too big. No, we're not going to see what y'all think we're going to see. We're going to see a chess match, and a chess match that, if it's played correctly by each side, it could be very interesting. If it's played wrong by either side, the other side will dominate. That's how good this fight is.
Boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. has reportedly paid a surprise visit to Terence Crawford's training camp, sparking major buzz just ahead of Crawford's super fight against Canelo Alvarez.
Fight call, I think his size may be his best going factor, but if he goes out and boxes Bud, he's not going to beat Bud boxing. He's not. So if Bud can take his punch, he's not going to outbox Bud. So it's like, it'll be, what would determine the fight would be who wants it most and who has the best fight plan. Because to me, I don't care what they say, if Bud can get Canelo to box him, Bud will outbox Canelo.
So it's still a fight that you feel is competitive enough despite what happened in the Madrimov fight?
Without a question, it's competitive enough. Well, what he showed you in the Madrimov fight is that he can take the punch at 154. So now, can he take it at 68? Still yet to be seen.
According to inside sources, Jones didn't just stop by for pleasantries. He came with purpose, offering Crawford a detailed blueprint on how to dismantle the Mexican superstar. With Crawford aiming to cement his legacy by moving up in weight and taking on one of the most dangerous fighters of this era, Roy's guidance couldn't come at a better time. From exploiting Canelo's flat-footed moments to controlling range with precision footwork, Jones is said to have broken down exactly how Bud can shock the world.
It'll all be predicated upon how well Terence can take his punch. Yeah. And what I'm seeing is I see a hungry Crawford, a Crawford that has been looking for the opportunity for a long time, finally getting the opportunity, and really ready to grab the opportunity. And with Canelo, I see a guy who not necessarily hungry, but loves to entertain, loves to give us the big fights. Always tries to give the big fights. He finds a way to give us big fights. Not going to always win them, but he always tries to give them to us. So he'll be a guy that, if he shows up and does the exact right thing, he can win the fight. If he don't do the right thing, which I don't see him doing, I don't know why he would at this point in his career. I don't know. It'll all be predicated upon how well Terence can take his punch.
Yeah. You said you don't think, or you don't look into the weight difference. Why?
When you know how to box, when you're as skillful as Terence Crawford is, weight don't really matter much.
Terence Crawford is set to challenge Canelo on September 13th, 2025 in Las Vegas, moving up 2 weight classes to contest the undisputed super middleweight championship, WBA, WBC, IBF, WBO, Ring, and TBRB titles, broadcast live on Netflix. Crawford has already defeated elite opponents, Errol Spence Jr. and Israel Madrimov, and now seeks to become the first man in the 4-belt era to go undisputed in 3 divisions. Alvarez enters with vast experience at 168 pounds, having bested Saunders, Plant, and others, while Crawford brings elite ring IQ, speed, and switch-hitting prowess. Promoted by Saudi-backed Riyadh Season with UFC's Dana White, the bout is being billed as boxing's fight of the century.
You've accepted this fight now, but in the previous years, you said it doesn't interest you because you have nothing to gain and everything to lose. If he were to beat you, how damaging would that be to the Canelo brand?
He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. I think this fight is gonna be in the books of the history of boxing for sure. That's for sure.
For sure, them belts coming with me. They coming home with me.
When you say, I want Canelo, is there anybody in the camp that would say, you're not ready for this?
That's a big boy. He's strong. That's a conversation. It's not just, oh man, you will whoop his ass.
Like yes, man type stuff.
I'm not worried about Canelo. I'm not thinking about Canelo. I'm just focused on Israel Madrimov.
In a small way, is this a stepping stone to your dream fight?
I don't look at fights as stepping stones. It's about now.
Roy Jones Jr. says the outcome of Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford will hinge not on weight, but how Canelo chooses to fight. In February, Jones told the ring that if Canelo performs what he should do, he'll win. But if he comes out and does what he shouldn't do, Crawford will prevail. He emphasized that controlling the center of the ring is Crawford's path to victory. Again in June, he underscored that the true test lies in Crawford's ability to absorb Canelo's power, dismissing weight as a decisive factor. Ultimately, Jones leans toward Canelo early on, but acknowledges that if Crawford weathers the initial storm and imposes his boxing IQ, he'll be a problem.
Crawford is going to fight Canelo because even if I have some doubts and misgivings about the size matchup, it is two action fighters who like to fight aggressively at times, not all the times, going against each other, and we'll see who can open the other person's tuna can, so to speak.
Connor's never been there.
Yeah. Okay. Another fight I did want to ask you about in terms of weight classes. Canelo Alvarez potentially fighting Terence Crawford in September. That's obviously a massive weight discrepancy. What do you think of that fight and the weight discrepancy between it?
Well, the weight won't be the factor. The factor will be how Canelo chooses to make the fight. If Canelo comes out and does what Canelo should do, Canelo wins the fight. If Canelo comes out and does what he shouldn't do, Crawford wins the fight.
But with Crawford, what are Crawford's keys to victory when you are fighting someone like Canelo, who, albeit maybe not in height, but in stature, is a much bigger man than him?
Control the center of the ring. If Crawford is allowed to control the center, he'll win.
Jones Jr. indeed likened the Crawford-Canelo matchup to a high-stakes strategic chess match in the ring, emphasizing that this isn't just brute force, but a cerebral showdown of moves and countermoves. He pointed out that Terence Crawford's recent bout with Israil Madrimov was a boring chess match, underscoring his ability to strategically outthink opponents. In fact, Jones warned Crawford against turning this into a foot race, saying, "If you run from a big man, you give him all the confidence? That's stupid." In essence, Jones sees this fight as a battle of wits, a complex mental duel where controlling the center of the ring, timing, precision, and tactical discipline will determine the victor. It's boxing with the mind as much as with the fists.
I don't care who you beat, the monster thing is going to always follow him.
Terence is not taking a fight in between. He's like, I'm going to move up to 168. I'm going to take my time with that. Should we expect an upset, or are we going to see what most people are expecting in that fight if it does happen?
Well, we're not going to see what most people are expecting. That's for sure. I can guarantee that, because most people looking at the weights and saying, oh, they're too far apart. Canelo is too big. No, we're not going to see what y'all think we're going to see. We're going to see a chess match, and a chess match that, if it's played correctly by each side, it could be very interesting.
Jones Jr. suggested that if Terence Crawford lands the knockout blow against Canelo and solidifies his legacy, it might be the perfect moment for him to hang up his glove, saying, if he beats him, he may go fight Benavidez. If he doesn't beat him, he say, okay, I took it with the eyes. I can go. I'm done. In other words, Roy envisions Crawford either chasing one final dream bout, perhaps against David Benavidez, or deciding he's accomplished enough on top and stepping away from the sport. It's high praise from a boxing icon. Defeat a legend like Canelo, and you've earned the right to retire as one of the greatest.
If it's played wrong by either side, the other side will dominate. That's how good this fight is.
Let's say if Canelo wins, do you think people give Canelo credit because Bud is smaller? And if Bud wins, should he just retire and go on the sunset?
Bud definitely should retire if he wins. Canelo, no, you have unfinished business, bro. You can try to hide, you can try to run, but that monster thing, it ain't going nowhere. I'm sorry. Even if you retire the rest of your career, the monster thing is not going anywhere because the monster was searching for you. He beat everything y'all sent at him in the process of trying to get to you. I don't care who you beat, the monster thing is going to always follow him.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there was a time where he was saying, Benavidez was saying, you know what, I got to earn that Canelo shot. He earned that shot a long time ago.
Jones Jr. believes that Terence Crawford has earned a place among the top 10 boxers ever, and in terms of pure skill, he'd rank him within the all-time top 5 after his dominant win over Errol Spence Jr. He explained that while Crawford may lack the high-profile opposition of other legends, his technical mastery, adaptability, and ring intelligence are undeniable. He reminds me of Roy. Jones repeatedly dismissed Naoya Inoue in the pound-for-pound debate, pointing to his controversial decision over Nonito Donaire as indicative of holes in his case. Bud ain't lost to nobody, so don't tell me Inoue's better than Bud, Jones said.
Gotta rank him probably in your top 10, maybe even your top 5.
Where do you rank Terence, in your opinion?
I put him in the top 15, maybe the top 10. because he definitely had the skill of a top 5. Just that he hasn't had the opposition that some guys were able to get, and that's not his fault. He just made one of the best fighters in his weight class look like nobody. That's pretty damn good. Now he proved what we already thought. We just didn't see him against the best opposition near his weight class. See, this is the thing people don't understand. This is what I like about Bud. He reminds me of Roy. We ain't got to have the best opposition in our weight class. We want the best opposition near our weight class.
There's been discussion that maybe, Crawford and Inoue are going back and forth tussling for pound for pound, that maybe Inoue, because of the multiple weight divisions. You're shaking your head no. Tell me why no.
Because Inoue also, when he first moved up, he lost to Donaire. Don't forget that. Bud ain't lost nobody. Moving up or down, he moved up 3 times. He lost nobody. Don't tell me he better than Bud, no.
Jones Jr. has also weighed in on Terrence Crawford's next move, suggesting that while a showdown with Jaron Boots Ennis would be a highly competitive pick'em fight because Boots has everything, Crawford would still be favored early on due to his proven ring IQ. On the other hand, when it comes to a clash with Canelo Alvarez, Jones sounded more cautious. He stressed that Crawford must impose himself early, make Canelo feel him from the opening bell and avoid running. A strategic, high-stakes encounter in which Crawford's tactical smarts will be tested. In Jones's view, both fights are massive but demand very different approaches. Ennis is a stylistic challenge. Canelo is a mental and physical chess match.
Yeah, because a lot of people are saying hey, forget about Canelo. That was a tough fight with Madrimov. Go ahead and give Boots a shot. Give Boots the chance. But Eddie's saying, hey, I think Crawford's saying, hey, give me the Canelo fight or I'm not fighting. I'm done.
Why? What does he got to prove to Boots? Boots trying to take over and start beating the guys around him, prove that he's the best of that group. Bud is in a group above him. Bud don't need to come back down to 47 to meet him. That's crazy. Why would he? Bud looking to try to make history and get out. Get his big bank and get out. His big bank is who? Canelo. He willing to take that gamble, see if he can beat him. If he beats him, he may go fight Benavidez next. If he don't beat him, he say, okay, I took it as high as I could go. I'm done.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy if he gets the win. Oh, my God.
However, Ennis has warned Crawford ahead of the fight with Canelo, saying Canelo is too big for Crawford. Showbiz the Adult, a prominent boxing commentator, has suggested that Crawford could replicate one of Roy Jones Jr. Iwansinwe's most iconic moments by delivering a knockout that leaves a lasting impression. He draws parallels between Crawford's potential to execute a decisive finish and Jones's legendary knockout of Glenn Johnson, where Jones's dramatic reaction captivated audiences. This comparison highlights the anticipation surrounding Crawford's ability to produce a similarly unforgettable moment in the ring. Crawford, who has often cited Jones as his favorite fighter, admires his in-ring prowess and showmanship. Emulating such a memorable moment would not only honor Jones's legacy, but also solidify Crawford's status among boxing's elite.
You know who I want to win the fight? Fundora. It has everything to do with Bud Crawford. I just want to see the moment that Bud Crawford is looking up at a giant and ready to chop that damn tree down. I've seen it before. I saw Roy Jones versus Hall. Rich Hall. He was... and then whipped his ass. I just want that moment. Bud Crawford just... and then Fundora trying to be... and Bud just... whoop, like the Matrix. Boom, 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 boom. Bam! I mean, I would just love it. Now, if him Zoo wins, of course, I want the better fighter to fight Bud Crawford.
Crawford has consistently expressed deep admiration for both Roy Jones Jr. and Floyd Mayweather Jr., highlighting their significant influence on his boxing career. In a conversation with Carl Froch, Crawford shared that Jones was his favorite fighter of all time, praising his multifaceted persona, both inside and outside the ring. He appreciated Jones's charisma, his interests in activities like fishing and basketball, and his dynamic presence, stating, "Just everything he did in the sport of boxing, from the amateurs to the pro. Roy Jones Jr. has always been my #1 favorite fighter."
Styles make fights. No, it's your destiny, it's your legacy to become 3-time undisputed, and in 40 different weight classes, and your 5th weight class as well.
Yeah,
you're joining that club as well.
Definitely.
So you're joining some clubs. Before we finish, you know how much I love the history of the old fighters. Like, look, I know I've already heard it before, but for the viewers, looking up to early in your career, like the couple of the fighters that you really liked was Roy Jones and Floyd Mayweather, correct?
Yeah, Roy Jones, Floyd.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get much better than them two.
Nah, not at
all. What was about? Tell me about each one. So starting with Roy, what was it that really
is athleticism?
Yeah.
Regarding Floyd Mayweather, Crawford acknowledged the impact of both his early aggressive style as Pretty Boy Floyd and his later defensive approach as Money Mayweather. Crawford noted that the Money Mayweather version, characterized by a more defensive and strategic style, would have been a tougher opponent to beat, emphasizing the challenges posed by Mayweather's evolved techniques. While Crawford has crafted a unique and adaptable fighting style, elements of Jones's athleticism and Mayweather's defensive prowess are evident in his approach, underscoring the lasting impact of these legends on his boxing philosophy.
You know, his speed, his power, his punch placement, his IQ, the way that he went about boxing. He's a hooper. I like to play basketball. He fish. I like to fish. You know, just his lifestyle. He like dogs. I like dogs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, me and him had so much in common. You know, even still to this day, I'll be like, dang, you know, I mess with that stuff too. Floyd, Floyd is Floyd. You know, I remember running home after the gym, you know, like Floyd about to come on. Floyd about to come on. We got to watch HBO. We got to turn to HBO. And just, you know, everything about him, his defense, his offense. You know, at the time, he was a shark.
Andre Ward recently addressed the escalating feud between boxing legends Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Roy Jones Jr., a conflict that was inadvertently sparked by Ward himself. During an episode of his podcast, Ward posed a question to Jones about a hypothetical matchup between a prime Mayweather and Sugar Ray Leonard. Jones's response, which suggested Leonard's aggression would have overwhelmed Mayweather, did not sit well with Mayweather. In retaliation, Mayweather posted a silent video montage on Instagram showcasing several of Jones's knockout losses, including defeats by Antonio Tarver and Glenn Johnson, leading to widespread confusion and amusement among fans.
I got one better for you. ATS fight for that, my boy. What you think about Roy calling out Floyd?
What do you think about Roy and Floyd going back and forth? I just talked to him. Floyd was really worked up. I mean, Roy was really worked up about it. What do you think, Andre?
They fighters, man.
Okay, we're going this way.
They fighters.
Isn't that the biggest fight in boxing today? Like, if that would have really happened, you think it could happen?
Watch out, Andre can still throw hands now. Don't mess with him like that.
They fighters, bro.
Roy said he
that fighting him is never gonna die. Right now?
Yeah, like an exhibition.
Anything could happen.
He said, oh, gotta go.
We'll see.
Who wins, Andre?
Yeah, I heard. I heard all about it. I saw Roy Jones call out Floyd Mayweather after Floyd Mayweather's subliminal disses. I saw it. And you guys are hitting me up repeatedly. Showbiz, who do you have if Roy Jones and Floyd Mayweather were to fight? And, you know, I must say, Roy Jones is my favorite fighter ever. He's my favorite fighter ever. You guys know I was a huge fanboy and all those things. I've said it repeatedly. But if they were to fight, I'll be rooting on Floyd Mayweather, man. I can't. Listen, regardless of how many times I've criticized Floyd and his career or whatever, Tim T has always shown me love, man. Floyd Mayweather showed me love, his son, his family. Look, Tim T has always shown love, bro. They have kept it a bean. I just never really been able to connect with Roy like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen him a few times. But I'm going with Floyd on this one, man.
What do you think about the looming Canelo versus Crawford showdown? Who has the edge? Canelo's power and experience, or Crawford's speed? Drop your hot takes below